Jealousy. 7 signs to help you trust your relationship and stop insecurity. Written by Judy Larson. Narrated by Joanne Trimble. Introduction. So you've met the love of your life and you're going to live happily ever after, right? Wait, who's that person your life partner is talking to? They seem to know each other very well. They're laughing together. Oh, they're touching each other's shoulders. They can't do that. Uh-oh. Put on the brakes right there. The green-eyed monster seems to have taken hold of you. When you saw your partner with another person, did you feel anxious or threatened that you were going to be replaced somehow? Were you suspicious about the whole setup? Did you think as if they were laughing about you behind your back? Did you feel betrayed? Did the witch from Snow White give you a poisonous apple and then run away? If you answered yes, then you have fallen victim to the powerful and often toxic emotion called jealousy. Jealous people are usually caught in a negative cycle of distrust, hurt, anger, sadness, resentment, and even violence. It does not feel nice, does it? Do not worry, you're not the only one in the world who feels this way. The good news is that you can overcome jealousy and even use it to make a better version of you. Are you ready to take back control of your life? Do you want to be free from all the unnecessary pain and hurt? Then now is the time to stop the cycle of negativity in your life. This book can help you understand and accept jealousy, recognize the signs of jealousy, take control of your emotions, defeat jealousy and its negative effects on your life. Be empowered to use jealousy as a positive building block in your life. Learn how to have better and healthier relationships. Read on and take control of your life. Stop letting jealousy wreak havoc in your life. You can do it. Chapter 1. Getting to know jealousy. Congratulations! You've made the right decision to read this book. You took the first step to taking back your life. This book will help you gain a better understanding of why jealousy had taken a hold in your life. In this chapter, you will be given a background on jealousy, which will lead you to gain a better understanding of what it is, how and why it happens, from when did it start, and its effects on your life. In order to overcome something, you must first get to know it, learn to understand it, and realize why it is affecting you. So, what is jealousy? Jealousy is an age-old, powerful, and oftentimes overwhelming emotion that can affect anyone, at any time, in any situation. You can be old, young, rich, poor, female, male, the list goes on, and jealousy can still take root in you. More formally, jealousy is an emotion resulting from an anticipated threat of losing something or someone already in your possession to another individual. Many times it brings about feelings of suspicion that you are going to be betrayed, which in turn spurs on your competitive side. For instance, you cannot believe that your partner is just friends with his or her ex, even though they are just that. Also, even when there is no real competition, you then try to emulate or even upstage the ex because you think this will cause your partner to choose you over the ex. Is jealousy the same as envy? Do not confuse jealousy with envy. These two are usually linked together, but they are quite distinct from each other. Envy means wanting what someone else has. It usually arises from discontent with your own situation. This emotion focuses more on coveting, such as seeing your neighbor's new car and wishing it was yours. So where and when does jealousy start? Love between two people usually begins with feelings of rightness and perfection. You feel that the other person is perfect for you, although what you do not realize is that people can change at any time. You could have invested in your relationship for as long as 10 years, and then somewhere down the road, you feel like something is different. You then start to doubt and believe that something wrong is happening. You need to realize that things and people change. Your partner could be tired of your relationship, or maybe you have changed also, and thus the dynamics of your relationship have changed. It just depends on how you view any change to your relationship. Is jealousy something to be ashamed of? Yes and no. Jealousy is a natural occurrence. It is actually ingrained in human nature. It is safe to say that most, if not everyone, has experienced this emotion at one point in their lives to a degree. In small doses, jealousy can even bring excitement to you and your partner. For instance, you may feel flattered that your partner gets jealous when other people watch you walk past. You may take it to mean that your partner thinks you are beautiful enough to garner such passionate feelings in him or her. Jealousy can be shameful once it becomes persistent and uncontrollable to the point of blinding you to what is right and what is wrong. For example, you feel irrationally jealous of your partner's sibling when they spend time together, just because you want your partner all to yourself. Why does jealousy happen? In a nutshell, jealousy occurs because we are afraid of losing what we have. It is usually a learned behavior. Your collective experiences in life have influenced and molded you to who you are today. Therefore, these factors determine how you react and feel in certain situations. For example, you might find yourself snooping through your current partner's cell phone because your ex-partner cheated on you and you want to make sure it does not happen to you again. Sometimes there is a valid and rational reason for jealousy, but there are also times when there is only a perceived threat of loss and there is no real cause to feel jealous. It could also be caused deliberately or unintentionally. Sad to say, there are people who delight in making others feel jealous, either by showing excessive affection towards someone else or by betraying a loved one's trust just because they can. On the other hand, a person's insecurity, low self-esteem, and general feelings of inadequacy can lead to imaginary problems that result in irrational jealousy. Too much time on your hands can also cause you to think too much until you start to make up things in your mind. Am I the only one who gets jealous? No. Jealousy is not unique to anyone. As mentioned, it can be felt by anybody involved in a relationship. Even successful people with high IQs, high-paying jobs, powerful positions, or even those in current stable relationships can get jealous at one point in their lives. It is all just a matter of the person knowing how to handle the emotion effectively. Is jealousy dangerous? Yes. Unrestrained jealousy frequently branches out to many other negative emotions, such as resentment, hatred, anger, rage, fear, anxiety, grief, and helplessness. One of the main effects of these emotions is insecurity, which is a lack of confidence in oneself. Jealousy can be like poison to your relationships. It is a homewrecker. It is a thief of your potential happiness. Unchecked, it might even lead to physical violence. There are many cases where people go to great lengths just to preserve what they have. Some even commit murder because of jealousy. Do I have the right to be jealous? Yes and no. There are times when there is nothing actually wrong, but there are also times when your instincts are correct. You find out your partner is lying and cheating on you. You need to assess situations individually and see if you have a valid reason or not. Can I control jealousy? Honestly, it can be hard to control, but you should do yourself a favor and do not let it overwhelm your life. You have the choice to let it empower you to better yourself. There are a wealth of information and tools found in this book to help you. Use them, and you can rise from jealousy and its ill effects. Also take comfort that you are not the only one. So yes, you can definitely control jealousy and beat it at its own game. The next few chapters will explore and discuss in depth the many signs of jealousy. The different topics will be explained and broken down into how they manifest in people's behaviors, what the consequences of these behaviors are, and plenty of tips will be given on how to overcome signs of jealousy. Chapter 2. Sign 1. Feeling unworthy of love? Look in the mirror and be honest. What do you see? Do you see a genuinely happy person or someone hiding behind a mask? Do you feel unworthy of love? This chapter will discuss how your inner feelings and perception of yourself affect your relationships. When you are in a relationship, especially an intimate one, you tend to open yourself up, which can make you feel vulnerable. Finding the right balance between loving yourself and your partner can be tricky. Vulnerability leaves you open to a range of powerful emotions, and if you are predisposed to feeling insecure, then you and your partner are in for an emotional roller coaster ride. Insecurity usually goes hand in hand with jealousy. It is when you feel inadequate about yourself and you try to project these negative feelings onto other people. Your self-esteem is low, and in your eyes you are not worth much. So you always ask yourself, how can anyone love me? This attribute originates from within yourself and negatively influences how you react to certain situations. You may feel that you are not worthy of someone's love. You feel that someone is always better than you, and you are self-critical. Sometimes you are your own worst enemy. Some people let their jealousy take complete control of them, that they have failed to take care of themselves. They gain weight due to emotional eating, or they do not have the energy to get out of bed, and they do not groom themselves anymore. Does this sound like you? On the other hand, you could learn the loss of confidence in yourself from your experiences. Someone in your past might have treated you in a way that had emotionally scarred you. For example, your parents might have gone through a divorce when you were young. You lived with your father, and he remarried shortly after. New siblings came along, and you got neglected by your father. From this experience, what you probably took away was that love is unstable, and once someone new comes along, you will be cast off. How does insecurity manifest in behaviors? When you are insecure in a relationship, you are always afraid of being abandoned by your partner. You always doubt yourself because of the lack of confidence in yourself. You are your worst critic. Sometimes you start to feel so insecure that you just want to hide away because you feel like things are never going to get better. You find yourself always seeking reassurance from your partner, and you always want to feel needed. Paranoia also shows up in your behavior because when you doubt yourself, chances are you also doubt others, especially your partner. You are always anxious and apprehensive about your status in life. You always think to yourself, does my partner still love me or not? Am I enough? What are the consequences of insecurity? The more you believe something about yourself, the more you believe it is a normal thing for everyone else. Could you be projecting your negative feelings onto your partner, thus provoking your own feelings of insecurity and jealousy? Sometimes when your brain starts to believe something, it also starts to create imagined scenarios in your mind that can cause havoc in your relationship. In this event, you will also block any kind of reasonable explanations that do not match your inner belief system. This, of course, leads to communication problems. You cannot have a proper discussion when insecurity blankets over your relationship. When open communication is lacking, it breaks down the relationship and drives a wedge between you and your partner, oftentimes driving away your partner. You feel less connected to your partner, then the jealousy cycle starts again. Having such a low opinion of yourself can also be unattractive, because when you have all these negative thoughts in your head, it shows in your physical appearance and demeanor. Be careful. The way you present yourself will have an effect on other people. If you think you are not worthy, they might just start to believe you. When that happens, you start to repel people because of your negativity. The outcome is you delve deeper into your misery and you become lonely and depressed. How do you overcome insecurity? First, you should learn to take ownership of your emotions. Accept all aspects of yourself, the good and the bad. Focus on your good qualities and use these to build yourself up. You can even create a mantra like, I'm a good person and I'm worthy of love. Say it in front of a mirror 10 times straight, 3 times a day. Eventually, it will become a habit and you will start to believe it. When you accept yourself, you should also learn to accept others. You must understand that everyone is unique and not everyone thinks as you do. Do not think you're going to be discarded just because your partner is talking to another person. Learn how to verbalize your emotions and feelings eloquently. Peaceful and calm words have never harmed anyone. Encourage open communication between you and your partner. Do not be judgmental. Make a list of the pros and cons of your situation. Analyze why you are feeling this way. Then make an action plan on how to resolve any problems. Seek support and advice from your family and friends. Let them help uplift you with their love and affection. If no one is available, you can always seek counseling advice from a professional relationship expert. Do you have any special interests? You can take extra classes to hone your skills and upgrade your marketability. Achieving something tangible like completing a course can boost your confidence and increase your self-worth exponentially. Have you let yourself go? Were you caught up in your insecurities that you have neglected your body? Go and sign up for a gym membership, or for a quick fix, go get a new haircut and get a new look. Being independent means being free and empowered. Learn how to rely on yourself instead of others. Assert yourself and be in control of your own life. Maybe you could sign up for driving lessons if you've not learned how to drive yet. Prioritize yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Learn to love yourself first and stop relying on your partner to give you affection. Once you have done that, whatever hold someone has on you will be dramatically lessened. Moreover, self-confidence is an attractive quality. Your partner will find it sexy. Face your fears. Go forth and conquer this nasty beast inside of you. If you feel that your relationship has reached soaring levels of toxicity, do yourself a favor and give yourself some breathing space. Live your life for yourself until you learn how to be content with yourself. If your partner is the right one, he or she will be waiting when you are ready. Happiness is a choice. Choose to be happy. Call your friends. Get out and have fun. In moderation, of course. You can also do other things that will bring you joy. Help out in a shelter or volunteer in the community. Helping somebody else will satisfy your need to be wanted. You will also see many kinds of people in different situations, and you might realize that your situation is not so bad after all. Chapter 3. Sign number 2. Control freak. Are you the type of person who wants everything to be done your way? Do you feel the need to dictate what your partner can and cannot do? Are you afraid that your relationship will be in danger if you let it run its free course? Do you feel jealous when your partner does not give you your expected level of affection and attention? If these sound like you, then you may just be what they call a control freak. This chapter will explore all about control and the different ways it can affect your relationship. In personal relationships, the term control freak refers to people who feel like they have the right to control every detail of the relationship. They have also had the need to mold their loved ones into their ideal partners. For example, they only want their partners to wear a certain type of clothing, or they want to dictate how their partners act with certain people. They are also under the illusion that if you control people, then you can surely control outcomes to your liking. It gives them a heightened sense of power and authority, which in turn feeds the altered reality they sometimes have in their minds. Ultimately, they get jealous when things do not go their way. Control, when exercised responsibly, can actually be a good thing. Your partner might be bad with finances and cannot stop spending on unnecessary items. If you are capable, you may take charge of the financial situation and control your partner's spending habits. In this case, you are actually helping your partner in a positive way, and this is a good example of control being used in a reasonable and productive manner. However, you have to keep in mind that when you are in a relationship with someone, both of you have the right to be your own persons. What happens in many relationships is that as time goes on, one of you might begin to feel as if you own the other person, and that you have the right to control every aspect of your partner's life. A trait that is commonly linked with control is possessiveness. It is also derived from a need to dominate others in order to control another person. It is caused by a selfish need in people to keep their possessions, including people, to themselves. They probably did not like sharing back in kindergarten. Caution is recommended because some actually mistake control and possessiveness for love. They feel like their partner cares for them because they innocently think that their partner only wants their love and attention, not realizing that they are just being manipulated. Have you experienced this in your relationship? Perhaps you do not want your partner to spend time with friends or family. Have you ever discouraged this by saying that your partner loves you less if he or she spends time with other people? Be warned, you are being manipulative and controlling, and you might be ruining your relationship. How does the need to control manifest in behaviors? The need to control manifests into many ugly behaviors, such as wanting to monopolize your partner's attention, spying through their belongings, and isolating your partner from family and friends. You might also feel upset when you are not being included. You complain about your partner not spending enough time with you, even if you spend most of your time together, and basically just trying to run the other person's life. Controlling people also tend to have short tempers, especially when things do not go their way. They become moody, highly irritable, and of course, very jealous. They may also speak to people in a condescending way, believing that they are better than anyone. Making people feel inferior is one of their pastimes, to make themselves feel superior, and to make their partner more dependent on them. Control freaks often force their partners to do something that will fit their ideals, even if their partners do not like it. This can be as strange as dictating what foods their partner will eat. They will play on their partner's emotions and withdraw affection until their partner gives in to them. They are also never at fault. If something goes wrong, they always blame someone else. This is why they also have mediocre problem-solving skills. It is hard for them to handle the emotions associated with not getting the outcome they had mapped in their mind. Their usual solution to problems is to blame the other person. What are the consequences of controlling behavior? Animosity is free to reign in a relationship where one person dominates the other and there is no give and take. The inferior party will eventually feel suffocated and rebel against the dominant one. When that happens, what control freaks do not want to happen will happen. The affected partner will leave, and even if they do not leave yet, they will lose respect and refuse to cooperate with the dominant partner. Since they have low tolerance for not getting their way, they are vulnerable to succumbing to mental health issues such as depression and obsessive-compulsive disorders. There are no winners in the breakdown of relationships and destruction of one's health. Is it really worth having your way, but losing what you are afraid of losing in the first place? How do you overcome the need to control? Good news. There are ways to tame down your need to control and preserve your relationship. Admit that you are controlling. Take the step to realize why you feel the need to control. Was it because of a past experience? If so, analyze what happened in the past and work out what happened and why. Understand yourself better. Identify triggers of your need to control. Is one of them the fear of losing your loved one? If that is the case, then you need to reevaluate your behavior. You could very well lose what you are most afraid of losing because of your controlling ways. Stop. Listen. Communicate with your partner freely. Let him or her talk and do not interrupt. You can say your piece after. Do not let jealousy cloud your mind. Encourage a free-flow discussion with no criticism. Change your mindset and accept situations as they come. Go with the flow and be more flexible. If controllers truly love their partners, they will let them be free with their choices. Partners should be trusted to know what is good for them individually. You will be surprised. Your partner might even reward you with admiration for the positive changes evident in you. Learn to manage your anxiety by going to therapy or a support group. You could also try talking to someone who will keep your story confidential. Bottling it up inside can cause you to explode one day. Having a sympathetic ear to listen to your problems can also be comforting for you. Change the way you talk to people. You can still say your opinion, just do not force others to accept it if it is against their views. No one wants to be forced to do something they do not want to do. You must learn to respect other people. Chapter 4. Sign number 3. Caught up in the past. Are you hung up on your partner's past relationships? Do you find yourself incessantly asking your partner about them so you can compare your relationship? Do you feel as if you have to measure up against the ex? This chapter aims to help you realize that what happened in the past should stay in the past. It will explain why digging up the past is not a good thing for your relationship and what you should do to avoid doing so. People often forget that when they first met their partners, they were attracted to qualities they saw there and then. They engaged in a relationship with them for who and what they were at that point in time, without knowing about their past. So you must remember not to be jealous of past relationships, because whatever happened back then obviously did not work, and that is why they no longer exist in the present. On the other hand, if your partner committed a previous indiscretion against you, then you need to ask yourself why you still feel jealous about this. There must be a reason why you are still together, right? If you made the decision to accept it, then you must follow through. Keep in mind that if something is no longer relevant, then it will not be helpful in your current situation. How does being caught up in the past manifest in behaviors? Digging up the past actually stems from insecurity and jealousy. You are not secure in your current relationship for some reason. You are continually bringing up the ex, yours or your partner's, and hashing out every detail of past relationships. You may also keep comparing yourself to the ex. It can seem like you are on an archaeological dig mission, asking your partner anything and everything about the ex, such as intimacy levels, personal conversations, what they did together, and so on. You might also be unnecessarily inquiring about the ex's personal attributes. Was he or she funny, cute, tall, understanding, rich, poor? You do not need to know these. Then, when you inevitably have arguments, you use information about the past in your current arguments. Can you see that that is such a vicious cycle? Ask yourself why you are so fixated on the past. Is your partner doing something to make you do so, or is it just you? Why are you so afraid to lose your loved one? Maybe you also have some negative thoughts you are projecting towards your partner? What are the consequences of being caught up in the past? Imagined scenarios could turn into reality. If you are continuously mentioning someone, you are keeping that person in your partner's everyday thoughts. This is dangerous, because you could be inadvertently reminding your partner about the good old times with his or her ex. Your worst nightmare might just come true, and your partner could go back to the ex. Bringing up the past also creates a harmful cycle of petty arguments, which are detrimental to your relationship. It prevents proper resolution of your problems. Moreover, when you keep comparing yourself to your partner's past lovers, you are actually belittling and demeaning yourself in the worst possible way. You could be forcing your partner to think that you and the ex are on the same level right now, and since you are so annoyingly insistent, he might begin to think that the ex is the better choice. How do you overcome being caught up in the past? Stop comparing yourself to your partner's ex. Remember and understand that you are with your partner now. There's a reason why they did not stay together. You are two different persons. You must extricate yourself from this behavior and move your relationship back into a two-way party. Stop comparing your ex to your current partner. They are also not the same people. You broke up with your ex for a reason too. Bear in mind that whatever your ex did for you in the past did not work or was not enough to keep you two together. Focus on the present and have regular healthy evaluations of your relationship. You could set a time and place that are just for the two of you. Discuss any questions you may have in a diplomatic manner. Resolve issues immediately. Do not allow them to linger. It is best to discuss any problems before going to bed. Do not go to bed angry. Tomorrow might be too late. Make a rule not to bring up past arguments and past lovers. Banish them from your mind. They are a waste of your brain cells. In particular, you need to stop bringing past lovers into your present lives because they probably do not even remember you. Do not give them the power to break your relationship. Make a list of what you are doubtful or jealous about regarding the past. Show it to your partner and open a calm and peaceful discussion. Explain to your partner the reasons why you're asking. When everything is laid out in black and white, it is easier to see why you're feeling insecure about something. Be open with each other. Leave no stone unturned. If people are willing to lay everything before their partners, then there are fewer opportunities for everyone to make up stories in their mind. This will also allow trust to thrive in the relationship. Get to know your partner's friends and family. Your partner's support network can also be a source of support for you too. They have loads of information about your loved one that you can access to gain a better understanding of your partner. Face your fears. What you are most afraid of usually is the unknown. If you're brave enough, and if possible, befriend your partner's ex so that the unknown will become real to you. You can see up close that he or she is not so perfect after all. Also, who knows? You might even end up being the best of friends. If you feel that your relationship has hope and you want to stay with your partner, you should learn to forgive and let go. If you still cannot let go, maybe it is time to re-examine your relationship and figure out where you stand. Chapter 5. Sign number 4. Delusional Love. This chapter will explore jealousy's sinister and darker side. Everyone gets that occasional pang of jealousy, but some people take it to the extreme. They become so obsessed with their partner that what used to be love can turn into something menacing. There's actually a term for this obsessive kind of love: Othello syndrome. Othello was a character in Shakespeare's play. He was a tragic character who was convinced and tricked into believing that his wife was having an affair. He killed her out of jealousy, but later found out that he was wrong and that his wife was innocent. Othello committed suicide after. Psychologically, Othello's syndrome refers to a condition where people are delusional in thinking that their partners are being unfaithful to them. People who have this condition are typically dangerous, obsessive, and excessively jealous. Unfortunately, people blinded by jealousy cannot control their actions anymore. They can even reach a point where they physically act out the delusions they have in their mind. For example, Jane loves her husband, but he goes berserk when another guy talks to her. He jealously believes that she has affairs with each and every guy she comes in contact with. He hits her when they get home and tells her it is all her fault, until one day he hit her hard enough on the head and she ended up in a coma. Sometimes you are better off alone than to be with someone who is insanely jealous and delusional. How does delusional love manifest in behaviors? As discussed, the common core of jealousy-fueled relationships, where one partner is delusional, involves the constant belief that the other partner is unfaithful. This leads to frequent accusations of infidelity. Delusional partners subject their lovers to aggressive interrogations regarding their actions, which include, where have you been? Who were you with? What were you doing? Why did it take you so long? Who were you chatting with? And so on. This manifestation leads to the need to continually search through their partner's belongings to validate their delusion of infidelity. Do you always look for proof? Maybe you have taken spying to the next level, and you actually show up at your partner's workplace unexpectedly, hoping to catch him or her in the act. Sometimes those suffering with Othello syndrome also test their partner's faithfulness. Their partners are subject to scenarios shaped and controlled by them. They usually throw obstacles and temptations at their partners to see how they would react. An example of this would be creating a false online identity to try and chat with their partners. They would then try to flirt with them and tempt them to commit infidelity. Delusional partners are also usually, if not always, violent in one way or another. They are abusive, emotionally, physically, or mentally. They especially take it to heart when they perceive their partners are betraying them. It could be real or imagined. Are you in a violent relationship? If you are, get out now. It does not matter who the guilty one is. You need to stop your relationship before either one of you gets hurt. What are the consequences of delusional love? The intensity of feelings and emotions in cases of Othello syndrome slowly build up from trace of doubt being consumed daily by obsessions to developing altered realities in the mind, leading to the day where these are physically acted out. There are many serious consequences to delusional love. The number one thing that is sure to happen is total relationship breakdown. A lot of times, there is no going back in these situations. A grave and permanent consequence is the ultimate act of violence, murder. This happens when delusional partners reach their breaking points. A common trigger is when their partners leave the relationship. Since the object of their obsessions are no longer available to them, then they feel that no one else should have them too. You can find many cases of relationships that end in murder, like Othello. They also commit suicide afterwards because they cannot live without their partners, although sometimes they do not physically hurt their partners and just commit suicide. Abuse is the usual outlet of delusional partners. Their partners usually suffer from excessive fear, sexual assault, physical injuries, emotional and mental trauma, stress, and anxiety. The victims often develop mental disorders as they cannot cope with all the abuse they receive. Domestic violence is one of the leading reasons for emergency room visits. Another consequence is that victimized partners are usually isolated from their family, friends, and other loved ones. Their partners limit their interaction with other people to the point that they lose contact with everybody but their crazed partners. Sometimes, when delusional partners continually accuse and interrogate them, the victims are forced into giving false confessions just to stop all the excessive pressure. They might agree that yes, they are having affairs just because they are so tired. However, there are also instances where false confessions lead to actual affairs. Since they are being accused of infidelity, they might as well really do it. There are also a lot of victims who escape from abusive relationships, but sometimes their misery does not end there. Stalking is a real problem when a relationship ends and the delusional partner is not ready to let go. Delusional partners almost always become stalkers. They follow their victims' every move and show up at their houses uninvited. They profess their intense love for them. Stalking could go on for weeks or even years. They also feel that their victims are just playing hard to get, and that eventually they will fall back into love with them. Since delusional partners are prone to rage, they sometimes take it out on their partner's things, or those of whomever they perceive as a threat to their relationship. Property destruction can include burning down houses, keying sides of cars, vandalizing properties, and basically just breaking down everything that is in their path. How do you overcome delusional love? This very severe and dangerous issue is hard to overcome. There are steps that you can take to do so, but you must be serious about seeing them through. Your first step is to take a deep breath and just relax. Then stop the relationship. Go cold turkey from the relationship and just take a break. A volatile relationship is unhealthy and no fun for anyone. Sometimes breaking away is the best thing to do because the current environment of your relationship may just be suffocating both of you. Your best and urgent mission is to seek professional help from mental health practitioners, no matter if you are the victim or the abuser. They will help you, and they may prescribe medication if they diagnose an actual mental disorder. There is no shame in this. A lot of people suffer from mental disorders, and they actually become better with the right help. Learn to separate reality from the make-believe scenarios in your head. Do not let your imagination run away with you. Tell someone. Reconnect with your friends and family. You might be surprised at the outpouring of support you will receive. Explain the situation and ask them to hold you accountable. You might need to stay with them for a while, so you will not easily fall into the traps of delusional thinking. Assess your relationship. Do you love your partner, or have you overstepped the boundaries of love? You may think love is what you feel, but in fact, you are just obsessed. If you are the victim, ask yourself if it is worth it to stay. Your life might be in danger. If you feel that you can still fix your relationship, agree to go to counseling together. You have reached the point where talking between you is not working anymore. You need to meet with a mediator on neutral grounds. Meditate. Release all those negative emotions you are holding in. Meditation has helped millions of people achieve better health, happiness, and self-control. Chapter 6. Sign number 5. Fault Finder. Jealousy is a vicious emotion, and one way it manifests in people is through fault finding. This chapter will look at why fault finding is a sign of jealousy and how you can be more aware if you're doing it or not. So, are you a fault finder? Do you find yourself chronically looking for faults in people? It may be something as simple as commenting on how funny their clothes look or criticizing the way they do something. This innate need to find faults originates from your own insecurity, fear, selfishness, and jealousy. You feel that when you find faults in people, you are better than them. You are feeding your insecurity at the expense of other people. You are also in some way trying to justify your own faults. When people constantly find faults in their partners, they are in a way showing their partners that they are not good enough and that they are lucky to have them. In this way, they feel like they are keeping their partners attached to them by making them feel that no one else will love them. Do not confuse fault-finding with healthy, constructive criticism. This is when you point out mistakes in a positive manner and you give advice for the betterment of the other person. You should be careful when handing out constructive criticism to your partner. You need to be sensitive and determine the correct timing and setting for this to be effective. How does fault-finding manifest in behaviors? Instead of praising your partner for their good qualities, you always see their flaws and imperfections. You are constantly pointing these out to the point of being obsessive about it. You will never let your partner get away with even the smallest mistake. Nothing is ever good enough for you. It is as if you are setting up unreachable standards for your partner, and when your standards are not met, you delight in telling your partner. It is as if you want them to fail. In addition, you always complain about your partner and that he or she is the one to blame when things do not go your way. You might say it is because they are stupid, worthless, or any other derogatory word that you know will put them down. You blame your partner for everything, even if it's no one's fault. You belittle your partner with every chance you get. You always have something to say about your partner's hair, body, clothes, job, and then you elaborate on the negative things you see about them. Efforts by your partner are also never recognized, and you do not stop arguing until your partner gives in and admits that he or she is wrong. You also shrug off whatever your partner has to say. You believe that your partner is inferior to you. Humiliation is also common with fault finders because of their jealousy. They love to humiliate their partners in front of anybody they feel is a threat to their relationship. They want other people to think that their partners are not good enough, so they will not attempt to steal their partners away. What are the consequences of fault-finding? Fault-finders are usually embroiled in drama. Their constant nagging ways can cause their partners to lose their tempers, which lead to frequent arguments. Do you find yourself arguing with your partner over the littlest things, such as what color tea towels you should buy? Partners of fault-finders usually take a beating to their self-esteem. They are afraid to act in fear of doing something to anger their partners. Even if they are truly at fault, they will become defensive at any hint of criticism, and thus preventing them from actually improving themselves. Eventually, resentment and contempt will grow in the partners of fault-finders. If you beat people down constantly, they will eventually dislike you or even hate you. They will lose respect for you and might even mock you. When your partner hates you, it usually leads to loss of intimacy. Your partner will lose sexual desire for you because they associate you with negative emotions. Nagging and constant criticism will cause people to avoid you, and they will make many excuses to do so. Since your partner will be avoiding you, communication breakdown is sure to happen in your relationship. Who wants to talk to someone who's always finding fault with you? They will not want to listen to you. Ultimately, all the consequences lead to relationship breakdown. If you are a chronic fault finder, chances are your partner is itching to get away from you to find another person who will give them a loving and peaceful relationship. How do you overcome being a fault finder? You should realize that fault finding is spiteful and malicious. Avoid doing this in any of your relationships, especially with your life partner. Manage your expectations. Admit that you are a fault finder. Look at your own actions and ask yourself why you are doing this. Maybe you have a problem with yourself that you need to fix first. Treasure who and what you have. Focus on your partner's positive qualities and attributes. Be generous with compliments and give credit where credit is due. Understand that your partner is different from you. Your capabilities are different from each other, and maybe your partner is having a hard time doing something that seems easy to you. Help your partner in a loving way instead of branding about useless criticisms. Increase your own self-worth so you do not need to stoop down to fault-finding. Occupy yourself with other activities so you do not have too much time to focus on anyone else's faults. Focus on improvements. Use constructive criticism at the right times and sparingly. No one likes being criticized, not even yourself. Find a suitable environment and ask your partner first if they want advice or not. Are you with the right person? Maybe you are always finding faults because your partner is not the right person for you. Reevaluate your relationship and see if you should stay together or if you need to break up. There is no point in staying with the wrong person. Find solutions to problems rather than just rehashing faults. Be productive in your approach. If you truly love your partner, you would want to resolve your issues so both of you can enjoy the relationship. Chapter 8. Sign number 7. Revenge. This chapter will discuss how and why jealousy can cause you to exact revenge on your partner. Do you find yourself neglected by your partner lately? Do you feel the need to teach your partner a lesson? Revenge is a mind game aimed to manipulate your target that is meant to give you satisfaction. The main reason why you want to take revenge is to make someone suffer because you are suffering. So in a way, you are acting out a mirror of your emotions. People always want vindication when they feel slighted. It is quite normal reaction. However, it depends on how far you're going to take it. Some just have thoughts, while others act on their thoughts. In some cases, you feel like revenge will give you closure. If your partner has been doing things to make you angry and jealous, do you think it gives you the right to punish your partner? Revenge is a powerful thing, and you have to be careful. You might end up regretting it. How does taking revenge manifest in behaviors? Revenge is very personal, and so people wanting revenge will try to hurt others where they will be hurt the most. People suffer a lot when their partners cheat on them. It can drive them to do crazy things. Some people resort to revenge sex just because they want to get back at their partners. Some also deliberately flirt with other people in front of their partners to make them feel jealous. They also do this by taking calls and texting other people while on date nights with their partners. Social media also plays a big part in revenge nowadays. Aggrieved partners would also post a lot of pictures showing them having fun with other people. Some would even delete photos of their partners or change their relationship status just to spite their partners. Another way is to constantly bring up a third party in conversations and put them up on a pedestal to make partners jealous. Also, when people feel that their partners are neglecting them, they block their emotions and start to ignore their partners. They stop responding to calls and text messages. They might also turn off their phones to make their partners worry. They then start being secretive, like not wanting to say where they have been, as they would feel this would make their partners jealous too. They also begin to make plans with other people, for instance, to take a trip somewhere, without consulting their partners. There is one good thing about revenge, and this is when people use jealousy to improve themselves and increase their own value. This can be evident by an improved overall physical appearance. They want their partners to regret hurting them. They will then reject their partners to hurt them even more. What are the consequences of revenge? Accept that everyone makes mistakes. You do too. The best thing is to try and solve the problem. Your partner will probably reject you because they do not trust you anymore, especially if they are innocent of any wrongdoing. Revenge, for the most part, does not result in any positive scenarios. There is no resolution, and so communication and relationship breakdown follow. Revenge will also become an endless retaliation between you and your partner. Once you have put your revenge into motion, there is no turning back. What is done is done. The crazy things you may do when you are out for revenge may not reflect your true self. You are just destroying yourself in the process. Your health may be in danger if you decide to have an affair. You have to be careful because if you catch STDs, it is not worth it. How do you overcome the need to take revenge? Promote open communication. Tell your partner how you feel and verify what is happening. Sometimes your perception of the situation may be inaccurate, and your partner is actually innocent. Spice it up and do something out of the ordinary to revitalize your relationship. Look for positive ways to bring you two closer again instead of taking revenge. Assess your partner's behavior and see if your partner is deliberately treating you badly. If you find out your partner is cheating on you, then it is time to move on. Learn to forgive. If you want to stay with your partner, you must learn to accept your partner as is. Once you agree to forget, you should also forgive so you can let go of this negative energy in your life. You must learn to have reasonable expectations so you can have peace of mind. Once you are at peace with yourself, you will take any problems that come with a calm and cool head. You will become less prone to having negative thoughts. Chapter 9. Dealing with others' jealousy. This chapter will now discuss jealousy when it comes from the other side and how to successfully deal with it. First of all, decide if you truly want to stay together with an overly jealous partner. Do you love your partner enough to make your relationship work? Are you prepared to make sacrifices? If your answer is no, then just get out of that relationship fast. However, if you are willing to make it work, read on. What do you do when your partner is jealous? You feel like you're not doing anything to make them feel that way, but they still get jealous. What are the steps you can take to make your partner feel secure? At the first sign of jealousy, nip it in the bud. Sit down with your partner and talk it over. Clarify what is bothering your partner. It could be just a really simple thing like your partner felt jealous earlier because your partner saw you hugging someone else. What your partner did not know, that someone else was just your sibling. So there, problem fixed. Give your partner the benefit of the doubt. Your partner might have a valid point. Do not indulge your partner's irrational jealousy. In this case, do not be argumentative, but be firm in dealing with your partner so you can avoid reaffirming any imagined perceptions your partner may have. You would actually be saving your loved one from getting caught up in the cycle of jealousy. Reassure your partner regularly of your love and affection. Your partner might just need that extra boost of tender, loving care. Always be patient, kind, loving, and compassionate with your partner. Everyone loves to be flattered, so give regular compliments to your partner. It does not cost a thing to remind your partner of his or her wonderful qualities. Encourage your partner to engage in skill-building activities. This will help build your partner's confidence and independence. Support your partner's dreams. Set boundaries and rules with each other and clarify any gray area. Respect your partner and make sure you stay within the guidelines. If you ever cross any boundary, discuss it immediately with your partner. Build on trust in your relationship by spending quality time with each other. It is proven that shared experiences lead to a stronger bond. Introduce your partner to your friends and family. This will help make your partner feel more secure. Always be truthful and consistent. Once your partner catches you in a lie, it is hard to gain back trust. Assess your actions because you might unknowingly be acting in a way that is causing your partner to be jealous. As long as it is reasonable, you should stop doing whatever is causing the problem. Be understanding and learn to accept your differences. Treat your partner how you want to be treated. Be open with your partner. Keeping secrets from your partner seems like such an underhanded thing to do, and this actually causes jealousy in many people, even in you probably. When jealousy spirals out of control and there is no appeasing your partner, you should know when to leave the relationship. No one deserves to be treated unfairly. Chapter 10. Letting jealousy create a better version of you. In this chapter, you will learn how to embrace jealousy and use it to create a better you. Now that you have read about the different signs of jealousy, do they sound familiar to you? If any of the signs are talking to your heart, acknowledge what is happening and learn how to overcome it. Jealousy is always thought of negatively, but in fact, you can turn it into a positive thing. It is such a tiring emotion, and you do not want to let it ruin your life forever. So instead of letting it pull you down, use this powerful emotion as inspiration and use its strength to make something great out of your life. You can use the tips below to help you become a happy, amazing, and confident person with the power to have an enjoyable relationship. Jealousy can act as a wake-up call and show you where you are lacking. It will help you realize how your actions affect others. Once you are more in touch with your emotions, you can be more empathetic and more considerate of your loved ones. You can use jealousy as a motivator to strive and work harder. When you find yourself comparing yourself to other people and you find something they do better than you, take it as a constructive challenge. Invest in yourself. Let jealousy push you to greater heights than you have achieved before. Turn the situation around and let others be jealous of you. Using jealousy as part of a healthy competition can help you do better with your studies, sports, career, and it can also induce you to take better care of your health. People are drawn to those who exude an aura of warmth and positivity, so turn your negative energy into positive today. Once you are more self-confident, you start to take charge of your life, and you become more independent. When used as a motivator, Jealousy can help unlock unrealized qualities in you, which could actually lead to exciting new opportunities. Let jealousy help you to have open communication with your partner. Reach out to your partner in a gentle way, and you might be surprised that your partner did not even realize that you are jealous. It will help you become closer and more intimate when you open yourselves up to each other. Use jealousy as an incentive on your part to make more efforts with your partner. Since the root of jealousy is the fear of losing someone, then you should go and strive to be a better partner. Go ahead and provide your partner with lots of love and affection. Jealousy can also help you appreciate the good qualities in your partner. Since you think everyone wants your partner, then focus on those qualities you think other people want and capitalize on them. When you have done all of the above and you still do not feel satisfied with your relationship, take another step back and analyze your relationship again. You would be surprised. Jealousy might actually help you realize that you and your partner do not match and that you are just wasting your time being together. Conclusion. To summarize, all factors of jealousy have a common denominator, and that is relationship breakdown due to behaviors brought on by fear of abandonment. In order to avoid this, you should always remind yourself that a relationship should also be a partnership. Learn how to compromise. Remember that your partner is under no obligation to stay with you or put up with your jealous ways. And so, make the effort to make your partner want to stay with you to a healthy extent. When you are feeling doubtful, ask yourself if you really want to live in a world filled with negativity. If you are the instigator of jealousy in your relationship, be aware that you might actually be pushing your loved one far away from you. No one is perfect, so you need to accept that everyone is flawed. Do not be so harsh on yourself and your partner. Be more flexible so you can bend with the wind without breaking. Learning to trust and let go is easier said than done, but if you make the decision to change your perspective to a positive one, then you just have jumped over the highest hurdle. Stop dwelling on things out of your control and instead aim to make positive progress in your life. Invest in yourself and continually seek to better yourself. Take what you have learned here and discover a stronger new you who is happy with yourself and your partner. Lastly, thank you for taking the time to read this book. Now that you know how to handle and manage your jealousy, let it help restore and rejuvenate your relationship. Remember, your relationship can only be as enjoyable as you let it be. The power is in your hands.